future. Today we're going to look at how you can start doing that in the new year, even if you don't have a lot of money. With us today, New Orleans certified public accountant Kimberly Washington to give us some of those tips to start the year off right, okay?
Yes.
So it seems like there's an app for everything. Let's start with that. There are apps where you can actually go to figure out how you can start, especially if you don't have a lot of money. Tell me what they are and how that works.
So that's 3 cool places I think that you can start. The first one being Acorns. This is a very cool app because every time you spend money on your debit card, it'll actually round that amount up to a whole dollar, and it'll take the change and also invest it. And you also can determine a certain amount too as well. A second cool one is called Robinhood. And so this is another great place to start because both of these apps, there are no minimums. So you don't need a large amount of money to invest. If you have $10 or $20, it's a great place to start. And another good website to go to as it relates to apps and investing, it's also Betterment, a lot of financial education and investment tips. So it's a great place to start.
So when you say the apps, walk me through. I go to this app.
Yes.
How does that work?
So you sign up. I think I always tell people the best way to sign up, I would start off with a computer so you can look at everything and read all of the fine print and see if it works best for you. But as soon as you set up, you connect your debit card with it, and then that's the way that you fund your account. But it's a really cool way because you can have it on your phone and you can say, okay, is the market up today or is it down? So that's kind of different places where you can go as it relates to investing.
Interesting. So it will walk you through.
Yes.
Like you could say, I only have $50 a month,
so
and I'll show you what. Okay.
Yes.
And you talk websites as well, right?
Yeah, different websites. Another great website is called Investopedia.com. This is one I used a lot in my financial class at Dillard University. But I love this website because it talks about the different types of investments, the different terms that you should know. Because many times when people are starting to invest, they're kind of just a little bit leery of not understanding. But if you have some time as you go into the new year, look at Investopedia. They have all the different terms, the definitions. So everything that you want to know as it relates to investing, it's a great and cool place to get started.
Yeah, because a lot of time, before we talk about the other tips, is that people see Wall Street as something just for billionaires, and yet all of the money that they're making too is also linked to pensions, and all of that. So it does impact everyone, right?
Yes.
Okay, what does it mean to understand your asset allocation?
This is a big thing because people don't understand this. And a good example, I had a friend who said, oh, I'm afraid of investing, so I just keep everything in CDs and market. I said, well, you're still exposing yourself to some type of risk, and that's the risk of not having enough. So when we talk about asset allocation, you want to make certain that you have the right asset allocation for yourself. And it can be an asset mix such as cash and bonds and stocks. So you want to make certain that you have the right percentage to meet your goals, because if you say that I'm afraid of investing, chances are you may not be able to reach your goals. So educate yourself and get an understanding of your asset allocation.
Okay, and once again, still talking about your future.
Yes.
How can you start your employer matching funds, 401k retirement fund? Because a lot of people are like, oh wow, that's so confusing.
Yes, they do.
Is that important?
It's
and what's
so
your
important.
Tip for that?
And you just said it when you first said it, is that everything we do, it ties back to investing. So many people think, okay, it's hard, but it's not. Your 401k plan is also tied to your investing. So take time out, especially while we're on this break. Look at your statements, see what you're investing in, pick up the phone, contact your HR department and say, walk me through these investments and will I have enough for retirement? And that's a great place to start. Right there with your company is always a great place to start because they're matching your money for free in many cases.
Yeah, we always talk about how the one common denominator that all wealthy people have is that they invested in real estate.
Right.
Whether it's a small home, which they grew and it became something big. So how do you start with that if you want to just, start on that path, but you don't have a lot of money?
If you're thinking, okay, I want to invest, first thing, start with your home. Buy that first home, because I don't want to give out so many tax tips, but when you sell at home, you can exclude the gain on your tax return. So that's just a great place to start. Start with your home first and then stay in it with a couple of years and then maybe move on to the next home, build wealth again and maybe move on to the next home. But start thinking strategic. But definitely you want to start with real estate because that's the key of building wealth. So that's where you really want to start.
Okay, well, some good tips there to start. You don't have to be a billionaire. You can start. You got to start. Everyone has to start somewhere.
I always say that. Just start small, and that's a great place to start.
Good tips. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Kimberly.
Year.